Hey guys, and welcome to QualityShot. So, breaking news from the ATP Tour, there's going to be a rule change to the toilet break and change of attire rule. So, as you can see on screen, the rules in place there. A few different things outlined. Before we get into it, for a bit of background, and I think it's probably fair to say this is why the rule is changed. Of course, there's been quite what can only be described as a little mini saga with Stefanos Tsitsipas taking bathroom breaks, at times up to just under 10 minutes. There was also accusations levied at him that he was potentially getting coaching via his mobile phone with his dad because no one was able to check, or they don't really check whether the mobile phones are taken into the toilet or changing room. Obviously, that's unsubstantiated, so I have no idea whether that happened or not. But I think it's just worth noting that was part of the whole saga. Zverev complained about it in, I think it was Cincinnati in a semi-final, if I'm not mistaken. And then Andy Murray, I think, was really the breaking point where he complained about Tsitsipas, where he took some long bathroom breaks multiple times, especially at the end of sets. I have to say, though, as well, and this isn't to paint Stefanos Tsitsipas is a bad person, because to be honest with you, it's well within the rules. Whether it's sportsmanlike is up to you. It depends on how you perceive tennis, and I guess look at how the rules are being used and utilized. But I think, honestly, most players at some point in their career have taken a tactical bathroom break at the end of a set, for example. I know, and again, I'm a massive Rafa Nadal fan. Again, I can't prove that he's definitely done it, but at the end of a lot of sets, when he's just lost it, he will go for a bathroom break. And it might just be because, he needs to go throughout the set. And then he's like, oh, okay, now I should go at this time because it's the most appropriate time to go. But that's how I've perceived it at times. And I don't think there's really been anything terrible about it. Honestly, I think it's been part and parcel of the game. However, I think given how long some of the matches are now becoming, especially the Grand Slam matches, in a best of 5, and if you get 5 sets, I think we need to have some rules in place. I think this will help. So let's go through this, and I'll also talk a little bit about the background and maybe what this might mean. So players can take a maximum of 3 minutes once they've entered the toilet. So that doesn't include time from leaving the chair on court to the changing room or the toilet. So really, they could just take their time, lumber into the toilet. It could take them a minute and a half. And then the 3 minutes starts once they've entered the toilet. They'll also receive 2 minutes for a change of attire, so change of clothes, in addition to the 3-minute toilet breaks of 5 minutes in total, which seems to be broken up: 3 minutes for the toilet and 2 minutes for change of attire and change of clothes. Apparently, a change of attire may only be done in conjunction with a toilet break, unless authorized by the chair umpire. Now, this is interesting because there's a lot of instances where people change clothes and they haven't gone to the bathroom, either because it's just really hot and humid conditions, or some people just change their tops on court. Is that also part of it? Is that going to be, does that count? I'm assuming it does, like changing your shirt on court. So if that's the case, then realistically, there could be a lot of dispute around that, because umpires, for example, may look at it and say, well, actually, you don't really look sweaty enough. And it's all very subjective. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work and whether that's a particularly good rule. I think for example, if it's a change of shirt, I think change as many times as you want. I think if it's a full attire change, which maybe that's what it's alluding to, then I can maybe understand it, because they're not going to change their shorts on court, while most players won't. So, and also, does it need to be done in conjunction with a toilet break? They're trying to make it more efficient, so I can see the positive, impact this will have, and also positive connotation. So it's good. Interestingly, I think this is probably right as well. A player may only take one toilet break per match, which is really, really interesting, to be honest with you, because one toilet break per match. So that's a lot of players will take multiple ones at the end of each set. And again, I don't want to get too technical, but what, for example, if you have a medical condition where you just need to go to the bathroom more often than others, do you get a medical exemption for that? I know I'm looking into it, but I'm just trying to understand how, because there's a rule change and it looks very straightforward, 6 bullet points, but I'm just trying to understand exactly what it means and really delve into it, because players, coaches, umpires, not umpires, but players and coaches, I guess, will potentially look at loopholes, and that's just natural to get as big an edge and advantage as possible. In terms of the toilet break, in terms of timing, it can only be taken during a set break, which does make sense. It's a bit ridiculous to take it in the middle of a set, especially if the momentum is against you. Then it completely ruins your flow and ruins your momentum, which is a bit unfair. And time violations will apply if a player is not ready within the allowed time. Now, this is interesting. Time violations, right? So they have the similar thing for serve, which is good. They've obviously now got the shot clock in place for serves, which is good. I know, obviously, initially, I think it's 1 warning and then potentially a final warning and then a point deducted. I would suggest that they have 1 warning if they go a minute over the time, but if they go any more over that minute, then you start deducting points from them, because otherwise people will just take it as, well, I'm just getting a warning, doesn't matter really, and you're only taking 1 toilet break anyway, so you could just take a toilet break and go up to 6 minutes, for example. So interesting to see how that also I guess has an effect on players, and what exactly is this violation going to be? How are they going to implement it? So a bit of subjectivity, and also I think it hasn't been very clearly, I think, stated. For example, what's the violation going to be? What does a change of tie actually mean? Does that mean a change of shirt? Does it mean a change of all clothes? What does it mean? And also, how can the chair umpire? Because at the end of the day, most chair umpires, I would imagine, will have different ideas of what a suitable time to change a tire is, right? So it's interesting, and I think we'll see how it plays out next year. I'm sure there will be questions around it, and it's like any rule change. It's never smooth sailing to begin with. It's never seamless to begin with, and that's only natural. But hopefully, it's a step in the right direction, and I do hope that it is, because. And I do believe it is, because we don't want tennis matches to go longer and longer because of things like this. And it's only right that it's done in a good way. And we are, as fans, like, people do switch off if then there's loads of breaks and toilet breaks, because they become disinterested. And unfortunately, this generation, the attention span is very low for a lot of people. So, I would say that, the more efficient we can make it, the better. Obviously, Tim Henman has had quite a lot to say about it. He hasn't been happy about the bathroom breaks, a few other pundits, etc. as well. And I can understand why, because I don't think they were as long back in the day. And I do think it just goes longer than it did previously, some of the matches. So, and the points are longer in general, I think, anyway. So that then leads to matches going and becoming extremely long, which can be extremely... extremely exciting, right? Because if you're a hardcore fan, you will enjoy it for the most part, but not for the casuals. I think we need to be all-inclusive in it. That's it, really. That's all from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the bathroom. The toilet break and change of attire rule, the new rule to be implemented in 2022. I know it's not going to be used in the Australian Open, which is interesting to say the least. But so it won't be at the Australian Open 2022. It remains to be seen if it will be used at Wimbledon, the French Open, or the US Open. I'm not sure, but it seems like obviously all the ATP tours, tournaments, so all the Masters 1000s, etc. 500s, 250s should have that in place. So interesting to see how it all plays out. Let me know your thoughts. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe and support us. Our links are in the description of this video for Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon as well. Thank you very much, guys, and see you soon. Have a fantastic day. Thank you very much.